Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today I'm really excited to show you a team that I have been trying, testing, tweaking, experimenting with for quite a while. No, I haven't done this like, for a whole week, testing every single day, hours and hours. But, I thought about this idea while I was thinking of another video for the sake of YouTube. And the result is pretty decent. Like, I don't know what I expected. I think I expected something that, takes longer or whatever, but let's cut to the chase because you've seen it on the title, you've seen it on the thumbnail. What I'm talking about is a team for 5 night 25. I'm still gonna call it speed run, even though it's not, not like the usual 1 minute teams, but I'm still gonna call it a speed run because it's a team that does around 2 or under 2 minutes. So basically this whole team, it doesn't rely on Seer, it doesn't rely on poison explosions, it doesn't rely on Alure, and it does not rely on reset. So I don't have any of the usual things going on in here. However, it has lots of RNG in it, but guess what? Even with the RNG, honestly, from all of the testing, I'm not gonna call it 100%, because it's like so much can go wrong that, it is what it is. But I definitely call it 97%. The 3% can screw us if it happens like multiple 3%. And you know what? Enough talking. Let's actually look at the team. You might be surprised. You might feel like, oh, this is a whale team, but at the end of the day, speedrunning 5 night 25 without what I mentioned before should be should be doable if people have these champions. If you have these champions and you don't have the usual Seers, poison explosions, the whatever champions that just explode the waves, you should be able to have Lydia if you finished your faction wars. You should have Mithrala if you've done enough of the Hydra. You should hopefully have a Ruel if you've been playing. If you're trying to speedrun something like this, you should be playing for at least over a year and a half, and you definitely cut that fusion and you built Ruel. And it's an epic and a void rare, a cold heart and a royal guard. This team works pretty interesting, and I guess honestly, there's nothing that it relies on like on good RNG. I have some, I have some interesting builds in there, and I have these builds made in such a way that I'm using them in other areas. So these people that you see in these teams, they didn't do on purpose, by the way. Here I left them not to do on purpose, and then I'm gonna explain to you once I come back and do it again. We're running this, let's see, does it fail, does it work, how does it actually go? But I was talking about the builds that I have on these people are actually builds that I use in other areas of the game. So they were not specifically built for this team. Maybe the speeds need tweaking. For example, if you have them built for the same reason that I have my people built, just to hit to get the speeds at the right at the right time in the right order, you might need to increase or lower somebody's speed. But look at this. Okay, it wasn't a 30-second past the boss, it was almost 1 minute till we got to the boss. But guess what? At this point we have 3 hard hitters in here. We have a cold heart, we have a Ruel, and we have a royal guard. So the damage here at the boss is gonna go a lot faster. I don't even have Giant Slayer yet on my cold heart. I still need to work on that, and maybe by getting that I'm gonna drop a few more seconds. But honestly, I'm really happy with this team because I actually had lots of people saying like, okay, what do I do if I don't have an Seer? What do I do if I don't have an Alure? What if I do if I don't have a Renegade or Kymar? Well, guess what? This one has neither of them, and it still works. And honestly, one of the reasons why I wanted to try and build a team like this is because I remember seeing somebody in my Twitch chat a while back that showed me a team that was like around 2 minutes or under 2 minutes that was using Seal of the Drakes, Ninja, and I think a cold heart or 2 cold hearts in a V6. It was something like extremely outside of the box thinking, and I was like, what, if they could do it, I should be able to do it. It's requiring a little bit of it requires some decent builds, but it's nothing too crazy. It's nothing too crazy. And think about it like this. Like I mentioned, I have my people built not specifically for this team. I just got them in the right rotation, got them to use the right skills, put the right preset in order for this one to actually work. So imagine if you actually build your team, if you build your champs to do damage or to survive, to do specifically this. But let me show you the presets, then I'm gonna do the run and I'm gonna explain every single thing, like why does it go in that way and why does it not go different. So let's have a look at the preset in here. So for Ruel, I straight up start open with the A2. This is the one that smacks from him, you know. Attacks on enemies, places an extra hit on enemies under Hex, which obviously Mistral is gonna place. Will ignore 25% of each target's defense if there are 4 or more enemies under Hex. So, you know, hopefully at least 4 are landed from Mistral. If one gets 3%, it is what it is. If they're not, it's not a problem because, you know, we have after that, everything else is locked. So we keep all of our skills to have ready for the next turn. So even if we don't kill everybody, if there's 1 or 2 or 3 left, we can slowly pick them up and kill them because we have the Ladia and the Mithrala in there to keep us alive. They have survivability skills in their kit. But let's continue with the Ruel preset. So this is the first one. Second wave, obviously making prioritize the Stalk Prey, this one that puts Hex. The reason why I want to prioritize this and I don't do, you know, any other thing is because this one pushes his turn meter by 50%. So apart from just from doing the Hex, which maybe, you know, maybe Mithrala did not come back to this one, but apart from the Hex, it also pushes his turn meter, so we come back to his A2 so we can smack the waves, hopefully before all of them get a turn and before we get killed, you know. I even had it where Ruel dies on the second wave. It doesn't matter, the team still works. This is the second one, and then on the third I open with the A1 and then I only let him do the A2 and A1. I don't care about him using the A3. I just want damage in there at the boss spot because that's about it, because the shield goes down pretty fast and then we do lots of damage fast, and even if the shield goes up again we can take it down because we have the multi-hitters. Then let's have a look at Mithrala. Mithrala on the first way, I open with the A2 that does the increased attack and increased defense and the AoE Hex, and then I lock everything else. I don't want anything else to be used, just A1 after that if somebody survives and we're good to go. On the second wave, I make her open with the A1 because I want the skills to fall in the right order, and by that I mean I want the A1 to be used first, then I want the A2 to be used after that to have the increased attack, increased defense and the Hex, and then I want the A3 to be used last because if we didn't kill them, or if, like, you know, too many survives and we start getting hit, I want to have the shields and the strengthen from Mithrala on all my team. That gives me, you know, a good layer of survivability, of protection, and, you know, shouldn't make me worry that, like, oh my god, everybody's gonna die. It rarely happens, it's only one that dies. It's usually Ruel because he's kind of squishy. But that's the reason why everything's made in this order, and this is the reason why on the first wave I'm not using, for example, with Cold Heart, I'm not starting with this one. I want my Mithral to have a second turn so that after she does this, she gets a cooldown back. Because after she does the A1, I want her to have the A2 again for the second wave. That's the whole reason why we're not straight up smashing. I could just straight up smash Ruel in the first wave. I bring a Royal Guard in a Savage set and he just straight up destroys it. No, I want that specific 1 or 2 adds to survive so that we can get the chance to rotate back to our skills for the second wave, because the second wave is the one that gets a little bit scarier. I don't know, I think they build them, the second one, to be like stronger, even though, like, you know, I use all the skills, I just don't hit them as hard as I do the first one. But let's go back to presets. On the third one, open with the A1 and then let her do whatever. Royal Guard, pretty simple, open with the takedown, then I let him use the A3. Second one, I lock the A3 because I want this one to be ready for when I get to the boss. So when I get to the boss, I want this one to be ready because it's a 4-hitter on the shield, so we take the shield down pretty fast. So on the second wave, so on the first wave, like I said, open. Second wave, he's open and prioritize that when he has it. Then here, open with the A3, then prioritize the takedown and then the hamstring. Like, you know, if you see that maybe he doesn't have the cooldown back in your team, just lock it so he doesn't use it at all, even on the first wave, and you're good to go. And just keep it, make sure he has it on the boss part. For Lydia, we open with the A2, which is obviously decrease defense and weaken, and increase speed and strengthen. Then again, lock everything out because we should do enough damage to almost kill the first wave. Even if we get resist on her, on the Hex, or whatever, we're not gonna worry. We're not gonna worry because we're gonna do enough damage to you know, before they get the chance to start hitting us. On the second wave, I just lock this one and let her do whatever because I'm gonna wait for her to have this as well. The thing is, on the first wave, she also gets another turn for the sake of this, for the same reason that I had the Mithrala, so that on the second turn, so she starts with the A1, then the next time she gets a turn, she has the A2 back, so she has the decreased defense and weaken, plus the increased speed and strengthen, which gives us again layer of survivability, plus the stats that we need, plus the increased speed so we can move faster. Then on the boss part, we make her open with the A3 because it's a double hitter. That's why we make her open with this. And then I lock it because it doesn't really help us that much and has slow animations. And then this is all that we keep. Then when it comes to the Cold Heart, I used to have her open with the A2. If we do that, there's a big chance that we kill the first wave. So what I did, I just made her open with the A1 and that's about it. Open with the A1 and then if she gets back to do the A2 or the A3 to kill the last as they were alive, it doesn't matter because my Mithrala and my Lydia got their extra turn that they actually needed and we can pass on to the second wave. On the second wave, I locked the Heartseeker because I want to have the Heartseeker ready for when I get to the boss part, so that after she's gonna do the A1, the 4-hitter, she's gonna get an extra turn because she's pretty fast, she's over 200 speed. She's gonna get the second turn and she's gonna do the Heartseeker, so we start depleting the boss's turn meter as you noticed. Then on the boss part, like I mentioned, open with the A1, lock the A2 because this doesn't help us at all, and at the same time I have a reflex set on her. So because I have a reflex set, I want only the A3 to be used so that I have a high chance to come back to it faster and faster. I have her in a reflex for the sake of what I use her in Spider as well. So like I said, same builds for other areas and it works perfect here. Now let's have a look at the builds. So the builds that I have in them are Mithrala, she's in my arena build. She is my anti-hedgy cleanser. She's in immunity with 320 speed, like, you know, good accuracy, good resist, which doesn't influence us. And I don't know War Master, no nothing. Like I said, she is in my arena build. You can make her do damage because she can actually smack. If you guys have watched the faction games, you might have seen Smiley use her for the speed runs for Fire Knight as well, and he made her actually smack. So, you know, if you don't want to lock her just for the sake of that, just do like I did. Put her in this type of build, make her fast if you're gonna use her something like this, and she's gonna work for the sake of the Fire Knight for you as well. Then Lydia, she's in a reflex because that's how I use her in Hydra for me. So, you know, this reflex does not influence us at all on the waves on where she does her buffs or debuffs, because like I showed you, she gets her extra turn on the first turn on the first wave, and when she gets to the second wave, she's gonna have the decreased defense and weaken when we actually need it and want it. But this is Lydia's speed, 261, no crit rate, the accuracy and resist that I need for the sake of Hydra and survivability. Again, you can give her 100% crit rate, you can give her maybe a little bit more damage. She's not gonna do crazy damage, but like this it's better because, you know, she's gonna be useful for all of the areas of the game for you. These are the masteries. I have PvE masteries for her because I most use her in PvE, not PvP. So obviously War Master, that helps at the boss part and even on the wave. And I have Lasting Gifts plus Master Exer. I like these masteries because, you know, she does lots of buffs and debuffs, so she's gonna gain lots of turn meter from these and have higher chance of extending her buffs and debuffs. You know, I feel like this is the perfect PvE mastery for the sake of Lydia. If we're talking clan boss, then yeah, you're not gonna want this, and some other funky stuff. Then we have Ruel. Ruel is in a Savage set. Obviously, he's the one that smacks in there. He's running at 186 speed, 80% crit rate. The reason why he's 80% is because he brings a 20% crit rate aura and he's my lead. So that works perfectly. Almost 7k attack, 252 crit damage. So if you're looking like, oh, that's high, I cannot hit that. Well, think about it like this. This is my 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th Savage set. This is not the best Savage set. Trust me, there's 10 times better. And it does the job. My second best Savage set is on my Seer. So imagine if I took that Savage set and put it on him. It's like, you know, it's good. And plus what I explained, you don't want him to destroy, you want him to do enough damage so it's the game, they come close to dying, and then finish them off with Mithrala and Lydia and whoever comes back to the A1s or A2s. So, you know, try to try tweaking around. It's gonna be a lot of testing even for you guys if you're gonna try and copy this. It's not gonna work perfectly because you're not gonna be able to perfectly copy every single stat that I'm using. So it's not gonna work amazing at the start, but you build a core and then you start tweaking, and trust me, it's gonna work wonders for you as well. It's gonna be amazing. Obviously he's booked. Let me show you his masteries. I don't even have Helm Smasher because, you know, it's RNG, it's whatever. You could go with Helm Smasher or Flawless Execution for more crit damage. But I went with War Master because I want more damage on the boss part when we get there, because you know that's usually the slowest part. Even though with this team it's kind of like same time we take on the waves, it's the same time that we take on the boss. So I recommend going War Master and then down the support tree. Even though I don't think I even gave him. Yeah, I didn't even give him accuracy. Like I don't care about his decreased defense or hex because it's gonna be placed by Mithrala. The only reason why I use the A3, like I said here, is one, to get the Termiter from the from this skill, and two, to have the perfect veil, because if we get hit, this perfect veil gives you 15%, if I'm not mistaken, 15% less damage from AoEs, and AoEs are done by natural and the siege breakers on the sides, which are gonna smack harder. And obviously, if he's gonna have perfect veil on himself, he cannot be targeted by the Vrasks, so he's gonna survive. Then we have the Cold Heart, like I said, in Reflex. I use her in Reflex for the sake of Spider because, you know, I don't have a Kymar to fully reset. I only have Renegades on my account. So I was like, you know, let me get the Reflex so I have a good chance in there to try and reset the Heartseeker. Plus I have 2 refresh pieces. I'm surprised I didn't even put a third one. I think the reason why I removed this one, the third one, is because she was squishy. So I was like, you know what, let me give her an extra layer of survivability. So if you see that maybe some of your people die, just give them an HP or a defense ring and you're good to go. Maybe give them an HP % chest. Look, I have an attack % chest. If I saw that this one was not good enough and we were dying, I would have put an HP % chest or defense % chance the chest, so that is gonna make us survive more. But I didn't have any more problems with that, so I was like, okay, you know what? Let's keep that attack % chest in there. These are her stats, 211 speed. Like I said, if you build her specifically for this, you can even make Cold Heart to be 50% crit rate. 50% crit rate because you have the 20% lead from Ruel. However, the damage from the enemy max HP is capped, so you don't really care about going crazy damage. As you saw, if you noticed on the runs, we didn't have decreased defense or weaken on the boss when Cold Heart did her Heartseeker, and she still did the maximum amount, which was 269,000. So, you know, getting her a little bit of survivability is not gonna hurt your run, gonna make it slower. It's gonna help you in case, you know, all the bad energy happens, she's gonna survive. So, you know, try and aim to get these roughly the same stats that I got. Obviously the accuracy to land the debuffs that she has. I don't even have masteries on her finished. Like I just had the Evil Eye, and I'm gonna aim to get the Giant Slayer. And this is after I finish, I'm gonna get Giant Slayer on her because, you know, it gives you more damage at the boss part. And let me just get the Royal Guard out. I forgot to get him out. This is my Reflex Royal Guard that I use in Hydra. Again, Reflex, extra chance to come back to the A2 and to the A3 for the sake of the boss part. These are his stats. He's really slow, 197, 100% crit rate, 250 crit damage, decent attack, and the accuracy to land his debuffs. You need around 250. Then masteries, War Master, and you want Sniper and Master Hexer for an extra chance to, you know, if you depend on the decreased defense and the decreased speed in any other content, this is really helpful. Master Hexer for a chance to extend it, Sniper for a chance to land it because he doesn't have 100% on this one or this one. So Sniper is definitely really good for him. But yeah, this was the team, guys. I hope you liked it. It was a long video, but I really wanted to explain, you know, my thinking, my reasoning behind all of this, how it works, why it works that way, and, you know, hopefully if you maybe you don't have exactly all of these champions, but maybe you can find a way of working around your team and building your team, you know, using the same logic that I try to use on this team, and maybe you could find yourself a Fire Knight 25 team that does it, you know, under 2 minutes. Honestly, I believe that if you manage to get the team on, you know, on stages 25 of the dungeons that are under 2 minutes, in my eyes, they're speed runs. So, you know, I feel that they're good. Like, think about it like this, guys. When we first had the dungeons 25, we were doing 5-10 minutes runs. So, you know, getting stuff like this, it's getting easier, and there's more and more ideas out there. So, you know, let's take advantage of them and build our teams to do those speed runs as much as we can. But this is gonna be it for the video today, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.